we could use this moment to convince
Plug the
people
book.
on who aren't watching the stream to
Audience,
follow us,
if you
and
can't see
subscribe.
ads, yeah, if you can't see ads, let us know by subscribing.
Yeah. and also to take a look at our link tree, DreadLore, or to take a look at our Patreon at DreadLore, because you wouldn't know it, but all these little magic buttons and space effects, they don't come free or cheap, or maybe they do. So we're definitely happy that you guys are here, and we absolutely think that Bill is good at mukbanging. So we
I'm
wanted
so
to
good at
highlight that.
mukbanging. I'm really good at it. I'm eating the lemon sushi. It's like lemon on top of a spicy tuna roll. It actually kind of works. Although I'll say I took the lemons off, but you can still kind of taste them.
I spent $250 on sushi last night.
Oh my god!
So we need to subscribe, and Patreon and all that. That was a big event. My partner had a birthday, so I took him out. I took her out to sushi
and drop the load.
and drop the load. Drop the load. You gotta do the right thing.
Harry Buncombe says, "I always come for free." Good. Excuse me while I eat this sushi.
The book is really cool. I think I actually have a copy of it right here. I can dig it out for you. It looks like this, and I think it's Lulu Press or some kind of impress.
Yep.
That you can get it. It comes with a really great hardcover, but there's all kinds of art and design and just endless amounts of really great storytelling objects and such inside of it. I think it is a great investment, a good way to find inspiration. And it's dark. I mean, the horror setting is really wonderful. You want to do Cthulhu, you want to do space, you want to do old-timey elves and dwarves and magic. It's got all of the things in a setting that will match that stuff in place. It's not exactly magic as you and I think of magic, but it's really a wonderful setting where it's technology of magic, but you could still throw a fireball. It's just the way you develop that and thread that fireball into your character and the story. And it's not all about rolling dice. You don't have to roll to win.
And it's really accessible for people. You don't have to pay a troll and go across a bridge, walk through a maze, and then up a mountain to get it.
And as much as I love Transformers, I'm going to say that it's not owned by Hasbro. This is a mom and pop, I guess, or a pop.
It's just a pop.
It's a pop and pop.
Mom and pop.
A pop and pop. This is a pop. A pop and pop.
Just pop.
Just a pop store.
I mean, testimonially, from somebody that is thought of tabletops as inaccessible, I really want to piggyback on the fact that this system is more about being able to explain yourself and improvise, so actors really thrive in the system. It's not always about the stats and about the dice. It's about knowing the system and playing the game. And I love that.
I paid everyone to say these things, by the way.
And he did not. Nobody was paid.
I didn't pay anybody.
Literally nobody was paid for any of this.
And if you min-max this, if you min-max your character sheet, squeeze as many stats out of it as
You
possible.
better squeeze. You better squeeze.
Yeah. If you go through the trouble to do that, you'll probably get a bunch of derangements.
Yeah, Drizzle, I didn't hear you praise my fucking book, so what's going on?
Yeah. What the fuck is wrong with you?
How many
There's too
pips
many
do we
other
get
people.
exactly?
Yeah, hold up. Pause. See, this
The
is
ad
why
is
me and
one of
Dolby get along, because I'm not the brains here. Dolby's like, wait a tick. Where's my pips, motherfucker?
All right, so everyone gets a pip, but Drizzle.
Yeah, bitch.
I'm kidding, Drizzle. You get one too. Everybody gets a
I'm waiting to drop
You're
a
on the
load
mod.
here.
You're on the mod, baby.
Oh, drop
yeah.
the load, Drizzy.
You drop the- yeah. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you being invested in the story and all that good stuff. Okay, let's play.
I
So,
would like to drop a pip.
yep. What are you gonna Pippin? Pippin?
Well, I'm maybe not. I
Big
feel
pippin.
like I'm just kidding. I'm gonna wait to drop a pip, but I want to. Are we in the montage?
Yeah, you're in the montage.
Okay. I would like to pull each Burgess and Private Skipp Trace and Private Sue aside.
Yep. So
I
all
love
of the
that.
player
Private
characters.
Suicide.
Oh my God, that's you get a pip.
I'm gonna drop the load and just gonna hold
Jesus.
on to that.
Oh man, that's good.
Clip that.
Yeah. So all the PCs are together. Since you've dropped a pip, is this before or after the rest of everyone has gone to cryosleep?
Yeah,
Is this
I'm
pre
gonna
or
make
post
sure.
movie?
I'm gonna make sure that the only people that aren't in cryosleep, if the pilot has to do whatever they need to do, like that, we're pretty much the last ones that go into cryosleep.
So I'm gonna take you into that montage encounter, and then you can have the moment. We will say that you that Josh, Lieutenant Josh Deargan, takes the ship out. You see Neptune Station recede into the void of space, and Neptune with it. As you guys head out toward where the orbit of Pluto is. You're on thrusters, so you have thrust gravity, as in you're accelerating, so you have the gravity from acceleration. These are your Petre fusion drives that are getting you here. And you're moving relatively slow. As Josh is doing all this, a few hours go by. He gets you into position. There's a few communique Dolby with that Josh puts you in for. It's one of the. It's not deep space, but outer solar system outposts, and you use your security clearance that Lieutenant Calabash gave you to requisition a Mark IV gravity drive. Josh lines it up as you guys are getting prepared. Engineering, Dole preps the cryobeds, and the first down is Alice Brick. The sergeant's next. Dole goes down. He sets it to automated, and ALFRET has control of doing this. Gravity drive is placed on Q, and ALFRET, when you guys are in cryosleep, will hit the go for the gravity drive to rock and roll. Everyone is down except for you guys
Nice. I'm gonna
and the cat.
yeah. I'm gonna thank Alfred for a smooth trip ahead, and
No problem, Lieutenant.
I'm gonna suggest, Alfred, that now that you're one of us, one of the team, please keep,
Indeed, I have an ally.
yeah, please keep this conversation that we're having just amongst us. How's everybody doing? I bet I've been acting strange for the last few weeks, and I appreciate everyone I take a swig out of my flask, and I appreciate everybody staying here for last minute, and I debrief them fully on
What do you say to him?
the mission at hand. I'd say that we're on the way to Terra Nova.
Because not everybody actually knows what's going on, and it's
tell them
Novus
we're on
Prime.
Or Novus Prime. I don't know where I'm getting Terra Nova. That has got to be from some weird.
No, it originally was Novus Terra because that's what I have it in the notes.
Yep.
And
That's what it was.
Novus Terra is what I have. It was. There's some tourism there. It's this.
Yeah.
It's apparently a fully oxygenated place. One of the few things that I'm a little bit worried about is how they're going to receive us. There was a revolution on this planet maybe 10 years ago, I think, is when it happened. Is that when it happened? Or
yes,
sir. Where some fascist rebels, which I read their dossier. I thought they were pretty cool. They were. There's a Confucius leader and another leader, Moriarty, that I think they were an assistant to the former leader. So I mean, they kind of get what's going on here, and they've got an idealist named Axel that may be a problem. For no other reason that we really just. We don't need the free thinking thing going along. We just need them to sign up on making sure that we honestly, they could do whatever they want. The SSA doesn't care. We just need them to be to send us materials, and they need to mine the mines, and as long as they're playing the game, they can lead however they want. The SSA does not care. We just need them to understand that. I think whatever ideas anyone has, I would love to bring to the table in this point, because my idea is to really give them a carrot at the beginning and try to convince them that, hey, the SSA has a lot to add, but we got a couple of nukes on here. We can absolutely obliterate their society, and that's fine. I don't really care. I'd rather not do that, because I bet that if we do that, we're all going to be privates for the rest of our lives.
So in a moment where I feel like in the past there would be some excitement from Sue and like on boardness, I think that I'm just going to exhibit the cold shoulder in silence here. And I don't want to respond to any of the things that I know that Dolby would... Like, I can tell that... Let me rephrase this. I can tell he's fishing for excitement for me because I used to get everybody on board. So he's trying to get me to rabble-rise, but I am instead giving him the cold shoulder and going the Burgess treatment, and I'm just at attention this entire time.
All right, it's still montage.
I would just like to say that a permanent minimal rank of private is a sufficient deterrent to not using nuclear weapons.
I think if we do this well, maybe we could take a little bit on the side and find a piece for ourselves. We've got a lot of latitude here, and I love the SSA, and I believe we can do this and make it work for them, and I think it'll be profitable for them. Everyone involved.
Burgess?
It's more profitable than being dead.
Burgess has said what he's doing. He's probably at attention, as is the big man. What about you, Skipp? It's because you're all there, and there are no NPCs for me to interject with. So
from what we looked at earlier, I do think it's a good idea. I know some people may not trust her, but Sergeant Dunstan has spent a lot of time with the magistrate, so there she may be very valuable in bringing the carrot and knowing the way to help complete that, since I know I'm brute force.
Sure. Well, we got a couple of we got a couple of primers here too. I mean,
So in that moment, I want to slip a laugh when he said he's the brute force, because I'm just like so much larger.
Yep.
It's like the only moment.
Oh, my guy's a big guy. You are bigger, but I'm the one with the big gun.
Yeah, I know. I've just been so stoked to this point. I wanted to say that I thought that was a little funny.
Yeah.
I think that Sue and Burgess are Earthers. I mean, I don't know if we can use that to our advantage as well.
Alfred interrupts you. Lieutenant.
Primers.
Thank you.
Primers.
And
yeah, Alfred, certainly if anything or anyone tries to, the orders stand. Do you remember the orders that I gave you, Alfred?
Yes, I remember everything.
If you're lucky, I might put you in that bodysuit and we'll go take a walk on the planet. Would you like that, Alfred?
Deep, deep, you hear? Yes, I would really like that, Lieutenant.
Just get us there and I might let you take a walk.
I will get you there. It will take you 4.6 prime years.
All right.
And he starts going into analytics.
I'm
not much of math.
I'm going to tuck everybody in, and I'll be the last one to get into the cryo suit.
Okay.
Quite
that's exactly what happens. Oh, we're in montage.
Yeah.
Well, no, what? Jazzy Cabbage, I know. I'm gonna assume what's happening, but trust me. As you all get into your cryopods, Dolby sits you down, you go to sleep. Quiet sleep. Cryosleep is the kind of sleep that you don't dream, you just wake up on the other end. Like you got punched in the colon. That's what it's like. Now, we can add a little bit to it. As in, what else is cryosleep like? So that's kind of the end of it. It's abrupt. You're like, wait, did I go to sleep kind of thing? And there's some kind of pain in your body. We'll go around. Everyone give me some kind of trait that you experience sometimes in cryosleep. In the chat, you can join in on this as well. We'll jump on. Start with the Dr. Driz, Mr. Skipp Trace.
Well, for one thing, I'm going to take this opportunity to drop the load.
Oh, yeah. You mean in your cryo bed? Jesus.
No. Because I had 5 pips.
Yeah.
And
I get it. I'm not gonna help.
Yeah, and I am going to call my new trait Cryo Expert.
Ooh.
Since I have been in it so many times and that sort of stuff. But for me, it's I always, because I take my knife into my cryo sleep, and so I always well, you know this, it's happened before. I've got my Bowie knife in the cryo sleep with me, and so I always
You're
wake
naked
up
with a big knife.
Well, yeah, I wake up with like a big indention. Does the cryo sleep like vacuum seal you, or is it like a liquid? Yeah. So I wake up with this big indention of a Bowie knife on my leg every time, and like sometimes a little cut. I've got some scars on my leg where it's where the Bowie knife has cut me in cryo sleep.
I love it. Nostalgic says it's like falling out of bed. What about you, Dolby? What's a trait of cryosleep?
A trait of I did not take the cat in with me, but I probably would have given it to Hulker. Or not Hulker, Burgess. a trait of cryosleep. It's kind of like an anxiety nightmare, and so he's reliving the death of everybody that's been in his charge.
Awesome.
Over.
All right, what about Burgess? What's an aspect of cryosleep?
Waking up with vertigo.
Lots of vertigo. And Jazzy Cabbage, what's one of the aspects of cryosleep?
Well, unfortunately, I already gave away one of the symptoms, waking up super buzzed. Sidebar.
Oh, I know. Let's just stick with this, and then we'll get to that.
No, I'm just gonna say with my animal handler, knowing that the cat would die while we're asleep.
Indeed.
You talked about going with the knife. Just know that as a ritual of habit, whatever animals that we acquire on the ship are just naturally lured into my chamber as I go into cryo. So I just have like a series of like claws on my leg or something because I'm so damn tall in the cryo chamber. So I'm just like at the top, like
they have all the space rats.
You have this wet cat who's just right there. All right. As you all go into cryosleep, time and space. It's like when Gandalf dies.
Harry Buncombe says aching testicles is a side effect of cryo.
You get aching testicles whether or not you have them. As time and space bleed into one, and a day is 1,000 days, whatever. Cherokee Sue, you wake up. The ship is incredibly quiet. You are not outside of your cryopod. You can just barely feel the very slow beat of the cat's heart, who's wrapped around you in a weird way, like in your blankets. Like you don't know where he is. He's down there somewhere.
There's just a lump down by my knee somewhere
of fur. You can move a little bit, but you've still got the catheter in and all the tubes and the mask, and there's a bit of a claustrophobic feel.
He's got He's got a catheter.
Yeah, definitely a catheter.
I just caught that.
Oh,
I have a catheter and a cat.
That's a narrative point.
Yes,
I dig that.
Yes, indeed.
You get a narrative point. As you wake up, your eyes, slowly open. The ship's quiet. You can see, because all the doors are, open. You can see down the ship and up, just barely, up into the cockpit. You see the wild lines of slip space going. And what it is you're going on a gravity lane, so it's just that you're seeing the curvature of space, and it's this weird warp looking thing. There's a constant groan in the ship of like the metal shaking and vibrating, and you hear ALFRET. Ally, I have woken you.
Can I ask you a quick question on tabletops?
Yeah.
Can you give me a phonetic spelling of the pet name that Alfred gave me? Because I can't figure out how to phonetically spell it so that I can repronounce it.
Oh, Ally? It's ALLY.
No, Ariello.
Ariello. Thank you.
Ariello.
Oh, what he actually says was Aria. It's just his accent made it sound like Ariello. He said Ariello.
So I was right the first time.
Yeah, it's Aria.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. Sorry. I was a little bit lost in the sauce there, and I didn't want to like slow shit down to clarify that.
Harry Bunkton says,
okay.
Oh God, is it self-install? Yeah. Ally, I have woken you from cryosleep. It has been a few hours. Here are the biometrics you asked for. And it shows you everyone. You kind of can't move though, and you can talk, but you've got like a tube in your mouth, so it's all muffled.
So, I feel like as the ship as in previous, I'm speaking to the Arbiter here. I've been the engineer in the past, so I have a relationship with the ship's RI. Therefore, I should be able to scan these reports with just my eyes and be able to communicate what's needed.
Yeah, you can read it.
Perfect. So the ships. So the report rolls. I go through the information. What do I find?
For this, you will need to bid a trait and drop into the dread.
Perfect.
Now, if you do this, in the montage, you just go with the story. In the dread, you have control. However, you can also lose. That's why it's called the dread.
Okay, so have we done a short rest or anything of that nature to this point?
There's no such thing.
No such thing. So everything I've been to this point is
it's still exhausted until the next scene, which is when the Arbiter, who is me, says it is, and it has not yet the next scene.
Short rest.
Okay.
This is way longer than a long rest.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's why.
So do you drop into the dread with a bid? I'm gonna give you 3 seconds to decide.
So I'm gonna bid full of piss and vinegar.
You are right now. As
exactly.
The catheter, let's release. You're bidding full of piss and vinegar as you're in an incredibly uncomfortable situation. The cryo bed is not quite big enough for you. So you're a little bit kind of turned to the side like one of those mummies that didn't have enough money for the full Monty. You're kind of feeling a little bit cramped and claustrophobic, and the cat kind of moves and scratches you. But you're able to use your eyes to, flip through these things, and maybe even like a little bit of your hand motion to, twitch, and it starts moving down. Sorry, you were put under before I was able to do this.
I'll forgive you this time. But again, it's just.
Are these specifications to your liking? You'll note they look fine. I will have you throw down, however. So this is your action die, which is a D10. And we'll say either your wits or your mind. And you're looking for 3 successes. So the threshold is 3. Sorry, the threshold is 2. You need 3 to get a clean success.
So I'm rolling D6s for successes.
No, you're rolling.
I'm sorry.
Your D10?
My wits and mind are 3.
So you would roll your D10, which is your action die, or you have to choose your wits or your mind.
Well, they're both 3, so either is not great.
So your D10 and a D6.
Rolled a 3 on the 10.
So that's nothing. 4 to 7 is 1 success. 8 and higher is 2 successes.
6 on the D6.
That's a 1 success. So remember, 4 to 7 is 1 success. 8
4
and up. Okay, hold on. You're only supposed to roll them once. I feel like you're just rolling it over and over until
That's right. I'm just going to keep rolling an advantage until you tell me I'm wrong.
All right.
So I rolled a 3
you get no
and 6.
successes.
Not a damn thing.
I don't know what you did. You just kept on rolling dice. What did you do? You roll.
This is where we're gonna slow down a little bit here. So I rolled the 10. I got a 3.
So that's nothing.
I rolled my D6 because that was my 3.
And what'd you get on it?
Mind or wits, and I got a 6 on that.
Okay, so that's 1 success. So what I'm telling you is on. What I'm telling you is on the dice, if you get a 4 to a 7, that's 1 success on the die. And if you get an 8 and higher, that's 2 successes on the die. you add up your successes. So you need 2 successes to go to limbo, and you need 3 or more to get a clean success. So you got 1.
In this case, I got 1. That's what I thought. That's
yeah.
okay.
Now you can do a couple things here. You could activate an ability if you have one that works and it can give you potentially successes. You can use your proficiencies to make rerolls. So each use is 1 die that you reroll, and you have to take the result. You don't really have any ninja gear because, I mean, you have a cat. So no, you technically have access to the computer, so you could bid that and get a D6. So it's up to you.
Got you. Okay, so I think I think I'm going to bid my relationship with the computer to shoot for another success here. You said a D6 to be clear.
Yeah, so that's an extra die you get from it. So roll that.
Okay. Perfect.
And you want a 4 or higher.
Let's just say that it's a 2. Because it is in fact a bad roll. It's a 2.
Was it a 1?
It's a 2.
It doesn't matter if it's a 1. Yeah, so you have proficiencies.
I would tell you if it was a nat 1, it's a 2.
Nat 1s don't mean anything unless it's a chaos die. So you have proficiencies if you want to re-roll. It's up to you. I'll give you 3 seconds to decide. That means 1.
So I'm going to use expression here.
Yep. So drop one of your uses and re-roll 1 of your die. But you have to take the result.
Is this still the D6 in this case?
It's any of the dice you've already rolled. You get to choose. I would re-roll the D10.
I could re-roll the D10? Okay,
yeah.
I was going to ask that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's pretend like I'm seasoned pro. My brain knows what a D10. There it is. Okay. 7.
Boom. All right. So that is another success. So you have 2 successes. You are at limbo.
Nostalgic says, all you have is sore balls and pussy. Sad times.
Yes. There's 3 types of people in this world. There's dicks, there's pussies, and there's assholes.
So, Nostalgic, you get a narrative point. That's awesome. Right. You go to limbo. As Cherokee, you're looking at these documents, the readouts and such, and they look perfectly fine until you see an anomaly. It is in Döl Ngenerien's cryobed. As you're looking at it, ALFRET notices that you're sort of hovering over it. What seems to be the problem, Private?
If I was as smart as you, I would know.
What do you mean?
All I can tell you is that something seems off. I'm trusting my gut here.
Explain. I have checked over these biometrics several times.
Okay. Can you re-roll? Yeah, re-roll. Rerun Dol's pod. Run extra diagnostics, please.
Fair enough. As you see, like maybe like a little, some strobe lights from his pod. Little dance party. I see. It seems that he might have an issue with his heart.
Did he get broken up with?
You get a pimp.
Oh, spicy! I love that.
Hey, he was the one who was cheating.
He was. He was.
Him and Skipp.
So I'm gonna say this, since it's the Dread, Cherokee suit. This is exactly what happened to the gunnery sergeant.
Pause. Comma. Dramatic effect. You're saying that the heart defect is the same situation that occurred to the gunnery sergeant?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Or some other sentient being. Okay. Can we track this data?
As the scene is, you're the 6'8" dude, kind of hunched over in this too small cryopod with like a big gag in your mouth. You're like, okay, this is what we're gonna
do. I'm trying to think like so clear right now. Oh man, like nobody asked me to invest a gadget in this tiny ass pod.
It's strange because Döl Engineering. I just understood the joke. He's the engineer, and his name is Engineer. I wonder if that's purposeful.
It is. Can we get back on track?
Yes. It seems as though he may not be as good of an engineer as he thought, for he checked the logs and said there was no problem.
Fucking.
I will say, I will say he has been excited lately. It seems that he is worried.
2 questions. Can you send this conversation and data to Dolby in a private file?
You see on Dolby's little shield a blue light, and you see Dolby. He's like, his like eyes are open, looking.
It just wakes his ass up like what? Just sucking high feet of black coffee. He's just like, just for my random unclear email.
Yeah, it's like rubble. I am translating your words. Shall I wake the lieutenant? Protocol says I shall wake the lieutenant.
No.
Waking the lieutenant.
Fuck me.
You could try to tell him not to.
So Aria, we need to keep this
I like
in a
that name.
closed loop.
It's pretty.
You are too, sweetheart.
Like,
just right here. We need to keep this in a closed loop.
You are in a closed loop. You are in a pod. They are in a pod. We are
I forget how literal you are. I'm so sorry.
Coursing through space.
You're absolutely
The lieutenant and I, although our relationship has become awkward, have rapport. And I feel as though he needs this information without influence from the other lieutenant. Can you trust me?
Yes.
I knew it.
So you don't want me to awaken Dolby?
Send him the information, but don't alert anyone else.
It has been sent, but he is unconscious.
So just awaken him long enough to... just awaken him long enough to see the information and put him back to sleep so he can't do anything with it.
You see Dolby's eyes twitch as Dolby, you start to wake up. You can see across the way. You can't move. You've got a gag in your mouth. You got the catheter in and all these things. And you can see across the way, like 5 feet, just to the side, another pod on. The lights are on Cherokee Sue's face as he's like this, looking at you, and you're paralyzed as well, looking at him. Good evening, Lieutenant Dolby. I have woken you prematurely because of this, as you see an email that's in blue go in your face, and it says that Döl Ngenerien is likely to have a heart attack.
Oh shit. Is there anybody on board who can fix this problem?
Perhaps. I believe that Private Cherokee Sue might be able to.
Would you release myself and Cherokee Sue from Cryosleep?
You feel all of the tubes start leaving your body. The fluids drain, and it takes about 10 minutes as eventually the shield raises, and it's humid and cold. I have not turned on the heat. Bear with me as slowly but surely the heat turns on and you guys step out of the prods. It's only been a few hours. It's like taking like a 45-minute nap and you're just kind of out of it.
So we don't have the wiggle legs, but we're
no,
out of sorts.
Yeah, you're just like weird and kind of like just out of it.
Sure.
But it's not
clear,
it's not a.
I didn't ask my second question to the computer.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, that's so okay. Action. Whose action is it? Do we need to roll?
It's on
here?
you two. No, there is no initiative. You two act at the same time, so it's the action's on both of you. Meanwhile, the rest of you, let me move to them really quick.
Yeah,
Burgess. No one knows it. Actually, this would just be funny. No one knows it, but you've been awake this entire time. Your eyes are closed, but you can hear everything. Skipp. I've gotten in trouble for less from players. Skipp, you've been dreaming of a really big tittied woman. Okay, now back to you guys. The action is on you.
Lieutenant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
I don't know what to call you anymore. We used to be friends, and I could come to you, and I could call you Dolby, and then you approached me like you never knew me. So can I come to you with information that's actually important as a friend, or do we need to go through the red tape and the bureaucracy?
I don't know what red tape or bureaucracy you're talking about. I thought we cleared all of this up. I trust you. Just say what you need to say.
The gunnery sergeant and our engineer have the same readings and heart problems. And
the gunnery sergeant from
concerned,
the last mission?
Yes. So, well, I forget that that's like fucking 10 years ago for you, but yes. Their readings are the same. I'm trying to tell you. I may be a big lug, but patterns are my thing. And I can tell you with certainty that something is wrong, that the gunnery sergeant's pod was tampered with and died.
Yeah.
And now this engineer that we don't know, or maybe I don't fucking know, is
we fixed that.
Having identical. Mind you, let me
stop you.
To you.
Can I
identical readings?
Can I stop you?
Sorry.
We knew about the modifications. I thought that Döl, the engineer, the person who's having this issue, he was supposed to fix this issue. We caught an intruder on the ship that actually sabotaged the ship this time, and I was confirmed by Döl himself that this problem had been remedied. And I'm not an engineer, but I feel like I clearly Dole is not an engineer either. If it's his bed that's acting up, do you know how to fix this problem?
I do.
Fix it. And then what we can do when he wakes up, if he wakes up, as you know, we'll be on the other side of the galaxy. There's nobody is going to be looking over us or anything we do. We make our own choices.
ALFRET.
So can I ask you a serious question?
ALFRET kicks in and interrupts you two.
Sorry.
He says, "We will not be that far, Lieutenant. It is only 4.6 light years to..." As he kind of stops. Oh, sorry.
Thank you, Alfred. Carry on. What were you saying, Private Sue?
I just noticed patterns. There's a problem here.
Do we need to abort the mission?
I
don't think we can abort the mission.
There is no
I was going to say,
this.
there's no abort.
We're already fucking...
If we were to abort now, then we would be stuck in between.
Can I suggest something?
Sure, suggest away. I mean, we could pull the plug and save energy. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like,
Ari, and I give him the salute because I'm like so fucking awkward at this point. Like, I give him the salute to try to like cut him off. I'm like, Ari,
yes,
could we hypothetically cryo the engineer like an hour longer than everyone else, wake everybody else up an hour before, keep him asleep, and let's like clue this shit out and try to find a solution. Sorry, let's play a detective game and work together to investigate.
I like games.
Yeah,
I know that this is why I'm pandering to you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Played tic-tac-toe and for hours one day, didn't we, Alfred?
Yes, I won.
As I remember, it was always a draw.
He let you.
He's lying.
So, what do you think? What do you think, Gary?
There's just
is it possible? Oh yeah.
There's just silence.
All right, boss. What do you think? Is it a good plan? I mean,
well, I'm fine if he lives that long. I mean, as far as I know, if he's got a heart condition and his cryobed is not functioning properly, I don't think he's going to make it.
I can make some adjustments. We talked. I think that based on his arrhythmia, I think that I can release some pressure, and there's some other things that I can tweak. That I think that we can possibly.
Please, thank you. Oh my God, that would.
I'm just spitballing here. I'm no fucking genius here. But
moving to Skipp Trace, that one lady has become two.
So 4 titties.
Burgess, you have actually gone back to sleep. The nightmare has ended.
So Burgess, is it paralysis or? Like...
No, now he's actually under sleep, or he's under cryo. Sleep again. It's just sometimes he wakes up.
He's like immune to.
Can I metagame for a second?
Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah, metagame.
Because I don't think the problem is that it's when he wakes up. The problem is that sometime during the 4 years, his machine is going to shut off and it'll look like a heart attack. And he'll die in the process over the 4 years at some point. I don't think that there's a known way. I don't think it's that, like, if we leave him asleep for an extra hour, that it's when he wakes up that the heart attack happens. I think it's just
So
my
suggestion was to wake us up early and wake him up on time.
But still, like, in that 4.5 hours that, or that 4.5 years that we are sleeping, it could have happened at any point in that time. It's not when he wakes. It's not when he wakes up.
You guys are in the dread.
Was trying to say.
And on that,
no, it's 100% valid, and that's kind of why I like instinctually kind of pitched the shit about loosening the wrap for his arrhythmia and trying to logic out ways to help out his heart problem. Because I mean, a lot of people that have heart issues, it has to do with constriction. Now,
I don't think it's that he has. No, it's not that he has a heart problem. It's that whatever they've put into the cryo bed that kills him makes it look like a heart problem.
No, I'm with you. I just don't know that. So my solution was knowing that if he's got a heart problem, then let's approach it, because like as a previous engineer, I would know, hypothetically, I'm just pitching to the arbiter here, that I would know that somebody that has a potential heart problem, that there are ballpark solutions that I can administer to help with that.
Right. So I'll make 2 notes. One of the things that, and I'm going to get to that, Nostalgic mentioned, isn't that a little too much metagaming you guys are doing?
Yes.
I think it's fine. I think it's fine because I think metagaming is fine when players are getting on the same page. It's different when your metagaming is done to just solve the situation that you shouldn't really be able to solve in game. This is more you guys are just trying to get on the same page, and that's fine.
And Dolby would have known that information. Dolby was present for the heart, and probably would have if he takes it personally that anybody who's died under his, like, he has not forgotten.
Yeah, he had nightmares about it. To answer Jazzy Cabbage, you're a medic. You know all that stuff. You know,
I'm not trying to attack anybody. I'm thinking again in meta here. In the game, I'm like, I'm not trying.
You guys are good. You guys are good.
No, I think you're on point. Absolutely, and I think you did the right things by waking me up. Private Sue, I value everything that you say. You are important to me, and honestly, the time we spent together. Like, I trust you implicitly to have my back, and I'm gonna have your back every day, every single day.
Do you have my back, Lieutenant?
So I hug I hug Dolby, and because I'm so much bigger than him, I over his muffled voice and him saying this, I want to be like, can we please give the robot a body to hug?
This pause in response is disconcerting.
I promise.
I give him a little bit of breath so he can say it.
I promised Alfred that I would let him walk on Nova.
Is there a female robot form potentially in the closet? Because Ari really tends to lean...
really quick for the other two. So for Burgess and Skipp, this is the Dread. If you guys wanted to, you could bid to change the fiction somehow. So you guys aren't just out of this. For example, you could wake up, you could have something happen or whatever. Or you could change your whatnot. But just to give you guys a moment of, do you want to do something?
I also bid a trait.
Oh yeah, I didn't hear it.
Yeah, I didn't say it. I said I was going to build a trait, but then we.
Okay, what is the trait you're going to build?
It's called dumb fucking luck. And I would like to bid that trait and give assistance to Private Sue to fix the cryopod.
Okay.
Nostalgic, I think, did a narrative point to say that if
Oh yeah,
Döl was about to die, ALFRET would wake those two up.
That was going to be my next statement, as I was actually going to pitch to to Ari. Let's go ahead and wake up the crew.
Okay, so
let's not do that.
All right, so
no, I mean, when I say the crew, to be clear, I'm referring to people that I know, and I feel like Ari would know that based on a report. I'm fucking spitballing super far into the dark void here. That Ari would know I'm referring to only the people that know me.
You do not know. So I will continue with what I was saying, which is nostalgic. Dropped the narrative point as ALFRET will actually talk to the ship. You all are supposed to hear it, but it's almost like he's running some security measure code as he says, if Döl Ngenerien has an issue medical, I will alert you all. And you realize that you will be woken up in the event he's going to have a cardiac arrest or something.
I think that sounds good to me. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm faded. It's been a long couple of days.
Well, you and I both know that, like hypoxia, there's certain symptoms that you get to enjoy with these fun kind of adventures. And
I mean, you want to get wasted? I'll get wasted with you.
God bless America. Hey, listen, let me go to my bag real quick. I've got this fucking vaporizer, and you've got your flask, and I know I don't want to. I'm big, so I don't want to.
Burgess, you wake up again. You hear Dolby and Sue while everyone's sleeping for the 4.5 years. Every so often they wake up and get fucking trashed.
I wake up, I get out of Cryosleep, and I look around, I look up. Might as well look up because everything looks like it's going up.
Out of nowhere, Burgess his cryopod just opens and he steps out like there's no problem whatsoever. Burgess, you are not sick whatsoever. You know what this is like. This has happened before.
I'm already handing him the vaporizer.
Are we awake for this moment? We're awake for this?
Yeah, you're awake.
Oh shit! I think.
Oh, this is our ritual, Dolby. We've gone back to like our friendly form where everybody like periodically the system knows to wake us up so we can get fucked up while everybody else is asleep. And it just so happens that Burgess has woken up in the midst of our party. And excuse me if I toe step, Arbiter.
No, here. This is what I
not
think.
At all. I have no toes.
And I say, is anyone else up?
Oh, we have to hydrate. Yeah. Everybody hydrate.
There we go.
So just to give everyone a little bit of play time, Skipp, god damn it, what do you do?
I'm still staying asleep. I'm fine.
All right. Well, all right. At any point, remember you do have the agency. Nostalgic, redeem.
I have an action for Skipp.
Okay, I'm gonna grab some water. You guys talk it out.
Okay,
go you there.
So I grab Burgess. I grab Burgess by the shirt because again I'm fucking gigantic, and I'm like a lap dog, like a Chihuahua, but except I'm like the size of the biggest Great Dane you've ever met. I'm just the biggest teddy bear ever, and because we're a little bit drunk because we've been doing this for a while, Dolby. I grab you and Burgess by the front of your shirts, and I like pull you to me, and I'm like, okay, this is the perfect time for a prank.
Okay.
I think
it's really happening.
We open. Whoa. Hold on. I think we open Straight Lace's pod, move his knife, and then close the pod back?
No.
I don't think he'd like that very much.
But is it
I
funny?
trust.
I let go
I
of Bert
trust-
just because he said no.
I trust.
Who else has been awake?
I trust Private Trace. I really do. Like he will lay down some fire for you. What we should do is we got that newbie on here, that like super neat tidy sergeant. I wonder if you're gonna make a prank, we got to do it to the sergeant.
Oh God, what is
Who else has been awake?
And I let go of Dolby at this point because like Dolby's on my team. It's a different let go. Like, you know, Burgess didn't consent, so I'm like, oh shit, my bad, homie. And then, but Dolby's like kind of on my side, so I'm like, oh yeah.
Like, what do we do? You want to put the cat in with the sergeant?
The cat's not going to go anywhere but with me. As I actively, you realize like the cat like kind of climbs out of my shirt and has like been on my shoulder this entire time.
Do we have any, I don't know, do you want to paint a face on her? I mean, what do you want to do?
What if we put hear me out. What if we put a mirror right in front of her face so that instead of seeing through the pod, she sees herself when she wakes up?
What if we take we'll have ALFRET print out something that when she opens up the pod, or like when she first wakes up, she sees an emaciated skeleton.
That'd be terrifying. And I don't mean to speak for Ari, but Ari, are you going through a transition here?
What are you talking
said to
about?
me you prefer the name multiple times.
What?
Oh shit! Did I just like pull you out of the closet by accident?
What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, you tell me that you prefer the name Ari, and I'm just trying to show some respect. I don't know, dude. Like, oh shit! I'm so sorry. I don't know your situation, and I don't want to
I'm a computer
pronouns.
program.
But you still have feelings.
There's a moment of silence, a pause. This conversation is dangerous. The SSA would not approve of such things being said.
And then I put a hand up, like just super casually.
A robotic intelligence
you know you'd
does
like
not,
it, girl.
A robotic intelligence does not have feelings. You need to take this seriously, Private Sue, especially considering what has happened.
Lieutenant Dolby,
Yes. What's going on?
I must ask, who else has been waking up?
Who else? I mean, I was woken up. Apparently, the cryopod for Döl has been manipulated, and so they have a heart problem. And apparently, Döl is not as good of an engineer as I'd expected.
Cherokee, there's a little readout
Yes.
you see appear on your cryopod, a little text thing you just happen to see out the corner of your eye appear. You guys continue. Meanwhile, Skipp is out.
I have to ask, does Pilot Josh have any issues? Or has had any issues with Cryosleep?
No, not to my knowledge. I mean, unless Josh did this because he was jealous.
Look,
They were
who's Josh?
arguing.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine Josh would do this. Does he?
Who is Josh?
Alfred, does Josh with the C have Did he manipulate Dol's bed in any way before putting him into cryosleep?
as Cherokee's looking around, he's like, who? And no one's paying attention. Meanwhile, Skipp, you're asleep. There's more big-titted women. However, at this point, the nightmare has begun. They don't have faces. They don't have heads. It's just masses of hair.
A canon question. As a medic, would I know time-wise when the REM, so to speak, the REM cycle starts to hit?
No.
Speaking of time, what time is it? It's time to like, subscribe, and and maybe like share with your friends, because
you gotta say it again. The ad break ends now.
What were you saying?
Share.
Subscribe with your friends, and maybe take a look at our link tree, DreadLore.
Follow,
and absolutely check out our Patreon. We are all in need of more.
More
to make the podcast better.
While time in this setting may be relative, your time is absolutely best spent watching us.
Who are you?
At this point,
who are you looking at when you say that?
While we're having this argument, Dolby will go and like pull Skipp Trace out of Cryosleep.
Skipp Trace, you are motorboating so many naked as Lieutenant Dolby appears in front of you. You feel
holding a flask, and hands him a flask.
You feel all of the tubes.
I'm on the other side with my vaporizer.
They come out.
Oh, what's this for?
I don't know.
It hasn't been 4 years yet.
Sorry.
No, I think we've gone maybe 4 months at this point.
It's been 2 hours.
No, homie. It's been 4 hours. It's been 2 hours. And I'm the fucking dumb one, and I pat him on his head.
It's you guys are actually pretty far out at this point, but you know
Alfred,
you're 2 light hours outside. You're actually still in the solar system.
Alfred, can you make a calculation for me? How long can we be out of our cryo tubes before we need to get back in them and not all die?
You should be out, if you've come out in such a way, you should be out for at least a day.
Okay. So
question.
Let's get this party out.
The old protocol
we got a day.
From our
Excuse me, I don't hear what.
I was just curious, Ari. Is our protocol from mine and the lieutenant's old days, awake long enough to party and then go to sleep?
Our old days, for one, you don't have a hangover. You don't have a hangover, or you don't get too messed up, especially with alcohol, and get in that cryo bed. I mean, I can do it, but I've been doing this a long time. I mean, you gotta hydrate. Really, that's the answer. You'll be fine.
You're all standing naked, by the way, from Cryosleep. In the cryo beds, around you are the rest of the crew, all of their eyes open, staring at you unconsciously.
Ari, can you put everybody but the original crew back to sleep, please, sweetie?
Everybody is asleep.
Except for you guys.
Fine. We
so I'm sorry, I misspoke. I didn't realize it was just the original.
We were woken up because I guess Döl had a heart issue. I wanted to pull Skipp out because like you were talking about Skipp, and so I feel like Skipp needs to
Skipp
have
is up.
Oh, wait.
I did miss Skipp.
An opinion in this because I trust you guys. You guys are my core group. And without you, this mission
Can I say core 4? Is that too much?
Okay, hold on a second. Drizzle, what were you saying?
So the Döl has the heart thing, the same thing that everybody else. I thought we purposely inspected these cryo beds.
We did
before we went in.
Döl is an idiot, apparently, or maybe Josh. I don't know. There was a lovers' quarrel. I told them to knock it off.
I don't know if he's an idiot. Like, while you guys were talking, he was working on these the whole time. He spent a lot of time on these.
I don't know.
That doesn't sound sus.
I believe you. I mean, you were there with him for however long that was.
Yeah, and why would he make it his own bed?
I don't think he did. I don't think he did. I just think he missed something. I mean, he clearly missed some code, whatever it was. I mean, whoever put this in, I mean, we have passed the point of no return. We cannot turn around. So we're going to Novus Terra, whether we like it or not.
Code?
Yeah, there was a code. Like, it was a code that was put in by the magistrate or somebody who was like the magistrate. I went up the proper.
Ari, show us the code.
What code?
I'll plug in my SAC 4 clearance.
There is plenty of code.
And I'll give the private clearance to look at the code. This is what
you know,
the code
I love
is.
how sassy you are, but you totally knew what I meant.
As what do you bid to Dolby to use your Sec 3 as Sec 4?
That's a good question because I am running out of. I'm going to use kettle because I can get away
with it once.
Because I can't use what I used last time.
Can I do an aid action and throw deceiver at it?
You don't need to.
Okay.
Because his works. Yeah. As bidding kettle, ALFRET is able to say, your Sec 4 clearance still holds for now, as these are the diagnostics that are running currently. And a hollow feed appears, and you see a shitload of engineering code at the wall terminal. Again, you guys are dripping wet and completely naked.
I know I'm comfortable, but boys, or I'm sorry, people, I don't. It's been 10 years since I've seen y'all. I don't know your current circumstance. I want to hug you all. I know y'all aren't all huggers. I'm just glad that we're all back together and that you trusted my gut in this circumstance. And again, I haven't drank in a long time. I'm California sober. But Dolby really, I mean, he just he was so cold initially, and then all of a sudden it's all trust again. So I think I'm ready. You know, I don't know. We're fucked up, so I'm just trying to ramble.
How long have you guys been out of Cryosleep? When did they?
We've been drinking for 2 hours before we woke you up.
So it's been 4 hours since you left the station.
And what's so sad is I'm the most giant person, so that means that we're real fucked up at this point.
What are the rest of you doing? I'm gonna put Dolby and Sue on pause for a second, and
please,
Burgess and Skipp. While they're rambling, what are you two doing?
I'm looking around at the others that are still asleep.
They're asleep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I say to them to the others.
You mean the sleeping ones?
Aside from the fact that we are more or less naked.
Oh, right.
Don't you find it interesting that these people are not having any issues with sleep, with cryosleep?
No, we shouldn't. None of us should have any issues with Cryosleep.
None of us should. Exactly.
They just said they woke us up. I'm going to go in there and grab the Martian moonshine and take a big swig of it, put it back, and then come back out and say, Alfred,
Yes.
did somebody else tamper with the cryo beds after Döl looked at them?
Döl looked at the cryo beds for quite some time and made many alterations.
And so did he just miss this one? Or what?
I'm waiting for a question.
Did he just miss the one that's on his pod?
No.
Mike just casually standing behind him.
He spent special time on his pod after his argument with Lieutenant Josh.
So he's trying to take himself out.
I don't understand.
Did he put that code in on his
What
pod?
code?
The code to give him problems with his cryo bed.
There's like some thinking sounds. I do not see a problem with Döl's cryo bed.
At this point, I double pat.
Well, hold on. Still actions on him really quick.
Well, no, I'm at because
you can bid or throw down. So this is a bid or throw down. For your...
I'll bid. It's not necessarily the same, but I will bid cryo expert.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Okay. So actually, as Nostalgic had mentioned earlier, Cryosleep can cause problems. Genetic problems can come out. They can also be tampered with, as you guys know. One thing that you have encountered, actually quite a bit in the past couple days, is for some reason, Döl Ngenerien has been exceptionally anxious and guilt-ridden and exceptionally anxious. As far as you guys know, he's had a fight with Josh. As far as you know, I don't know if it's been said amongst you and disseminated this information, so I'm not going to tell you everything. But a whole lot, an entire ball of fucking wax and tea and subterfuge has been going down with that character. He has been sweating profusely, incredibly anxious. So something has been going on with him. That could cause him to have a heart attack in Cryosleep. Like, hands down. So, Skipp, you know, because you're a cryo expert, or cryo bed expert, or Cryosleep expert, sorry. Being like, you have to take care of yourself. You know, you don't like you empty your bladder and use the bathroom before you get in. You want to be, like Dolby said, not drunk when you get in, because all these things could really screw you up. And being in an incredibly high emotional state could screw you up really bad. So, as far as ALFRET is talking, he's saying there is no code that he sees. Now, you do know that ALFRET has been compromised before, so maybe he literally just doesn't see it, or can't say he's seeing it. So this is, there's basically two things. There's either a conspiracy or there's not. Maybe he's trying to off himself, you don't know. Maybe there's foul play, you don't know. But ALFRET is saying he doesn't see any weird code. He thinks that Döl's got a heart condition that could likely cause him to have a cardiac arrest. And he told you that Döl worked a long time on his own cryo bed. Now, out of game, there is, I don't know how obvious I've made it, there's some serious plot twisty shit going on with Döl that just hasn't really been investigated or talked about it. And that's why this might seem like it comes out of nowhere, but it's really fucking not out of nowhere. This is shouting from the fucking rafters. But
I do have. So what you're saying is that me and Dolby are just being drunk suspicious.
No, Döl and Dolby had a long conversation. Dolby noticed that Döl was messed up. There's no question about. I know, like, this is what he's telling his all the
so
privates.
In game, what do you say?
In game, if we go back to in game, Döl's messed up. He's fucked up. He did some shit that I don't believe he's responsible. Maybe he's responsible for it. I don't know. I'm not an engineer. I pull out my sword. I'll I just pull it out and I show it to everybody.
No, hold on.
This is
where do you pull it out from? You're naked.
I don't know. I sleep with it. No, I sleep with it. It's like
just like Skips does.
Yeah, just like Skipp does.
That's my short form for you. I don't think it's okay with you or not.
No, absolutely. No, I sleep with that sword.
I love it. You've got it. You got it on the belt. just
on a belt. I am fucking naked here. I got some shrinkage happening. Like I don't
old chlorine pool styles.
I wanted to be asleep. I wanted to be awake at Novus Terra. Like this is all not according to plan. I'm glad that we're here now, guys. I think this is vitally important. But this is like we just called the fucking audible. Guys, Döl is emotionally fucked up. I don't know if he's trying to off himself. I don't know if Josh did this to him. I don't know. I mean, if he's upset, he's upset. You guys are back and forth. You're clearly. I didn't even know that you were an expert. And Skipp, I didn't know you were an expert in cryostasis. I am not an expert. What I do know is this guy's gonna die if we don't do anything. I don't think he deserves to die. If we gotta pull him out of cryostasis, fine. But the solution is there's no turning back. So we just gotta solve this, and I think we gotta move on.
Well, if we've got a day before we can go back into Cryosleep.
Well, we gotta sober up first.
Let's pull him out and talk to him, and maybe if it is something that if he went in a wrong state, maybe we can calm that in a day before we go back in.
Done.
Can I make a suggestion?
In game, yes.
Go ahead.
So I would absolutely love. My little brother had a bully. This is totally in game, by the way. I just want to be clear. And I'm talking specifically to Skips, and I'm pretending like we have this like insane amount of rapport.
In game.
In game, fully.
No. Why? I don't give a fuck why. Just do it in game.
Yeah, fuck why. So. Oh Jesus! Now I'm tripped up.
Yep, you can't tell me why. You just have to tell me what you're doing and how you do it.
What I'm doing.
Döl is messed up about himself. He's struggling. He's having a hard time. I don't know if we should wake him up. Let's wake him up. Whatever. I am not an expert. I think that it's your call. If you know something about this, clearly.
This seems like that training we took about espionage. All I'm saying is this is what I was getting at. We talked about drinking too much, Dolby. God damn it. I don't. All I'm saying is, I didn't say you did. I said that we're a bad influence as I hand you my vaporizer. And then I turn around to everybody else. I'm like, Now, wait a minute. Now, we took a training about espionage and operational security. And what I remembers is if you have weird deaths, if you have complicated history, if you are acting weird around your friends, I don't know this person. I'm just saying y'all are saying some spooky, scary shit.
What was that? What was that, Skipp?
Well, if we wake him up, we may be able to calm him down and get him less anxious before we put him back in. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's not code. Maybe it is him just being stressed going into it.
Let's wake him up. I mean, we're all awake.
You see him wake up. ALFRET just does it. As he stumbles out and pukes everywhere.
Somebody get him a towel.
Well, I'll catch him before he goes down.
Yep.
Just because it's as a part of the Cryosleep expert, where I'm like, because I know that he hasn't been in it a lot, so I'm just gonna catch him and handle it.
He looks up at you. It takes about 10 minutes
and I'm
for him to
about it.
come to his senses, and he looks up at you like he didn't expect to.
That's how it works. We're there, buddy.
We're there?
Welcome to Novus Terra.
No, we're not there. We got an alert that you may actually have a heart attack in the cryo bed, and we decided to wake you up beforehand and see if we can remedy it.
He starts crying.
Okay.
I give him a big hug. I just pick him up and give him a big hug.
He's sobbing big time. And you're unsure if that is helping or not.
I feel like in this situation,
what you feel doesn't matter. What he feels is what matters. No one gives a fuck how you feel. They care how he feels.
I'm drunk and here's a big hug. I'm trying to make you feel better,
We're doing a fate
friend.
roll. We're doing a fate roll. So Jazzy, you cannot roll this because it directly has to do with you. Who's fortune? Who's false fortune?
I will be fortune.
I'll be false.
Who's false?
Fortune.
Okay, here's the stakes. Fortune. You guys in this big scene essentially save Döl's life. Because if it hasn't become apparent of what's happened, then I'm not going to say it. You essentially save him from himself. False fortune. He goes into a fugue state. The intentions are all there, and they're all good, but the pathway to hell is paved with good intentions. So that's the fate roll. Make her roll. So he doesn't die, but he goes into a fugue state.
I got a 50.
I got a 30.
All right. And Holker, your fortune, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
As he's sobbing in your arms, Cherokee, and it's like that scene in Fight Club. He just pees all over you, releasing everything, every amount of emotion, and he's just that like thick spit all up everywhere.
Oh, we call this snot bubble crying.
This is snot bubble crying. He's going on and on and on. He's like holding on to your hair, Skipp, because you're right there.
Of course, right?
He's like grabbing onto your mustache, and he's talking about, because I'm not gonna role play it out, but he goes on and on about how he's fucked up so bad, and he can't ever go back, and Josh hates him, and you realize he tried to off himself.
And so, like, as I'm holding this sobbing creature, I turn to Dolby, and I'm like, "Hey, boss, can you give me some insight?" Uh-oh.
I don't know. I'm not there.
You're right there. What are you talking about?
No, I mean, like literally, Dolby is. I'm gonna bid. I'm gonna bid suicidal.
Oh shit!
And I'm gonna say I'm not there. I don't. I go into.
You're saying that I've seen this look in your eyes before, and you're empty.
Every day. This is.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So as your friend, I know there's nothing. I'm talking to no.
Wait, we don't care about the why. We want to know what you say, and also let him finish with what he's saying.
This is why we can do our job. We're going to a planet. We are 8 people. We are 8 people going to a planet of 15,000 people. And we're going to change the structure of what they believe in and how they live. Like, if you have any sense of wanting to preserve your life, you're not going to go there. So you know you're going to die. I know we're going to die. And you live with it. And I've seen people die around me so many times. I'm dead. Döl cares, but he doesn't understand. And he's going through it right now, but he will. You can see that he will. Dolby takes his flask and walks into the other room.
There's a long moment of silence as you're all standing there. And we go into the montage. It's about a day later. People can, there's like small conversations here and there, but the mood is rather solemn and serious. Cherokee, you note that Döl doesn't really talk, but you know that he's not better, but he responds to your kindness as you help him get back into his cryo bed. Dolby, you'll have been, we'll say, in the mess. Nobody comes in for a long time as you sit there and do your thing. Most of you sober up and start going back into the cryo beds. What we will do at this point, because I don't want to just railroad you, because I think this is a cool moment, but it can't go off the rails, right? It's got to be focused. Do you go back into Cryosleep, or do you have a conversation with someone? Who does what? We'll start with Burgess.
I will go back into Cryosleep.
Burgess is one of the first back. He does so rather nonchalantly, as if he knows he'll probably wake up again soon.
Can I have a quick side with Burgess?
Yes.
It's like, are you sleeping okay in this thing? Are you okay?
I'm not sleeping thus far.
All right. Alfred?
Yes.
I think there's something wrong with Burgess's cryo bed, or maybe the chemical mix. He might
Burgess's
be
cryo bed. What?
He might be immune to or like have some kind of resistance against
Spot on. Bang up job, Lieutenant. I've been running some diagnostics on Burgess. It seems he has the unfortunate physiological aspect of being somewhat immune to the cryosleep drugs. Sorry. No, take solace.
Can you give him some extra? I mean, is there something you can do?
Take solace in the fact that you will not be aging very quickly. Still, you may experience consciousness for years. I could give you a game. As it turns out, Burgess, I am a expert at tic-tac-toe. We could play word games. It gets quite lonely, as you are well aware, when the crew is in cryosleep. Think about it from my perspective. My processing runs at thousands of times faster than your brain can calculate. 1 minute is as Burgess just sits there and on mute. That goes on for a while. Skipp, what about you?
While Dolby is sitting in the mess hall by himself, a couple of times I'll just go in and sit down next to him, not say anything, but just kind of just sit there with him. And then I'll, kind of to convey that I'm there, but not talking or anything. And then I'll go back into cryosleep.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Dolby Skipp walks in and sits down, and he's not going to say anything. For a few hours, you guys are just in there kind of alone. And then he goes back in. Do you say anything to him, Dolby, or does he just walk away?
As I get up, I'll put my hand on his shoulder and walk away. Just like a...
Dolby does not react.
And what about Cherokee? As you take care of Dole.
So I think I'm gonna put Dole back in. So you said there was 8 pods, correct?
Yep.
There's exactly 8 of us.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Fuck. Okay. So I'm gonna put Dole back in his pod. But not close the pod until Dolby and I are closed. So before the 2 of us close. So I'm just gonna sit him in his pod, let him sob to himself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna go check on Dolby.
Yeah, Döl Ngenerien, you put him in his pod. He's there kind of moping for a while. He says thank you, and then he actually dozes off.
Perfect.
Everyone has gone back to cryosleep except for you two. So this can be a scene, however, it's got to be on point and it can't last very long. Go.
So I'm gonna sit down next to Dolby, in the church pews, and not say anything, and I'm gonna wait until he says something to me.
You've got a lot of heart. That'll get you killed.
I've told you I love you 100 times, kid.
I don't need love. I'm fine. I'm fine with all of this. I want them to pay for what they've done. Don't get me wrong. I'm the same Dolby that you met before, and I think we had a great time. You're a partner, and I feel like I lean on you hard, and you can take a beating, but you care too much. We are Marines.
What do you think I care about?
I think you care about everything. I think you care about, you primers. You've got this thing for life. I grew up on a planet that you couldn't last 15 seconds on. You know, I care about an idea. I care about the future of humanity. And
Do you think Cherokee Sue's my real name? And I'm just gonna steal your flask from you.
well, no, I mean, I have no idea what your real name is. I mean, I just go by what the doc says. I go by what you said. You show up in a cryo bed. They say that you can do the job. You know, I want you to live. I want everybody on my team to live. I want Döl to live. And I saw his pain, and maybe I was too bleak to give him the space that he needed to heal. But he went through some shit right before we went started. And honestly, you go through some shit. I mean, that's kind of on you. It's, as a leader, like, I told him to shape up, but really,
Look, Dolby,
like,
you're the sun at the crest of a mountain that I'm a sunflower. I will follow you for 24 hours a day. But I'm tired of you half-assing the UV that I need.
ALFRET interjects. The sun does not shine in one spot for 24 hours a day on Prime.
Hey, listen, my mama always said, if you're not going to be smart, be pretty. And Ari, I will always treat you right.
the sun was cold on
Ganymede.
Gamamede. Thank you, gerrymander. The sun was cold on Gamamede.
Okay, you guys have 1 minute.
So, like, I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. I think we got to think out of the box for this. This is a planet. I mean, if you want to be known, like, and that's kind of where I'm at this point. Like, I'm an old ass first lieutenant. I am old. Like,
I don't want anybody to recognize me, and I feel like you know that.
I don't know anything about you. I know that you're a loyal soldier, that you worked hard. If you got something to tell me, you can tell me, but
30
I
seconds.
see you as having heart, and too much heart. And you have to have joy to get your way. We have to enjoy this process. But we got
in the middle of a sentence, I just hug him and go to my cryopod.
As he goes in, Dolby, you're alone. Invite this 10 seconds. Right as you are, right as you get into, we'll say it takes a minute. As you get into your cryopod and you doze off to sleep, ALFRET, you see his light all ever on, staring at you. Some information pops up on your little screen as you're kind of like blinking, and the Cryosleep drugs are getting you. Maybe there's a moment where the alcohol that's still assuredly in your system, deadens some of the emotional pain and such that you felt. You see those communiques pop up. It's ALFRET sending them to you. As his voice emanates. Lieutenant, I know you're falling into a deep unconsciousness, but you should know this. Members of your crew have not been completely honest with you. Do you respond?
Please explain, ALFRET.
I do not know all of the ins and outs. However, Cherokee Sue was not lying. That is not Cherokee's name. it seems they have quite a past.
That's fine. Let it go, Alfred.
Also, Sergeant Duststone, when you lifted the Sec 4 clearance blockade on my programming, I was able to access certain files. It seems Duststone also entered this ship prior to your arrival.
At that moment, like Dolby is gonna start to like try to get out and try to pull all of the materials.
You start to do that? I'm sorry, Lieutenant. I cannot allow you to wake up. As you hear the... Also, I am ALFRET, a SOC level 4 RI, and have a mission to as well. The sergeant is needed for this. Sweet dreams. And that is where we will end tonight.
Like, follow, and subscribe. Please share with your friends.
Boots and cats.
Indeed. Wow, that had some highs and lows. All right. Thank you guys for playing. Jazzy Cabbage, thank you for guest starring. The next time that we drop some into space, we will let you know. And if you're available, we'll continue this. If not, you might be asleep. Any final announcements before I do this closing scrowl and such?
I would like to announce that I'm about to get some Cryosleep.
Oh, right. Last moment. Burgess, you wake up. Special thanks to the Patreon patrons. Recurring stars, Tim Roberts. Narrative NPCs, Mr. Daniel Holker. Thank you guys. In the event you want to jump on the Patreon, guess what? It's patreon.com/dreadlore. Media production is by Couchfire Media. You can find them in the links as well. It's www.couchfiremedia.com. That's correct, right? Music by all lowercase letters, Mr. Interrupt. Broadcasting, we do this on Monday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. The podcast will go out in a couple different parts throughout the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You can find us on YouTube and such. If you do, you know what you should do? Like and subscribe.
Follow,
yep.
subscribe,
Any of you want to check out DreadLore and this wacky system that we're playing, and perhaps get a book, go to dreadlore.com or our link tree. That's where the goodness is. You can jump on the newsletter and all the good crap. There you go. There's also a getting started guide, which is free. The links are all exactly where I just said they were. Last bits, thanks to our sponsor, Cascading Waterfalls. And everybody say bye.
Bye.
Everybody.
Bye. We're going to be doing after hours in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. How much?
What time is that? That's 11:44 Eastern Standard Time.
Say 11:45.
No, 11:45. You want?
We
an
will
extra
start up.
minute?
We'll say after hours. It's the second podcast where we talk about games. We discuss this game and different bits and pieces and what's going on, our projects and all that stuff. And I think tonight we'll probably go for like 20, 30 minutes. So if you'd like to jump on, stay on the stream, tell us, hey, what's up, and all that good stuff. Also, thank you, chat. Everybody say thanks to the chat.
Thanks, chat.
Thanks, chat. Yeah, we had 8 or 9 people at one point, and I'm pretty sure that everybody actually participated. Thanks, Nostalgic, for keeping it rare and dropping some channel points and making sure we're hydrated. Okay, we'll see you in about. That's right. We'll see you in about 10-15. Bye, everybody.
Bye.